Well, I don't see my chat box. Let me go in here and make sure my chat box is turned on. Well, there's Uncle BB, so I guess my chat is on. That scared me. I was thinking my chat was not on, so I was coming in here to YouTube to make sure it was on. How's Uncle BB today? Trying to bring up my chat on this computer. And y'all to know, I mean, every time I schedule my live, it comes up vertical. It will not go horizontal. So I don't know what to do about that. It'll go horizontal if I set a live and go live immediately, it doesn't change. But when I schedule it, it flips. Well, thank you, Uncle BD. I don't feel gorgeous. Trying to bring up my live on my laptop so I can see the chat without having to look way down there. How are you doing today? Shows I got 6 watching. So far, I only got 1 person in chat. As long as you look gorgeous. Thank you for the compliment, Uncle BB. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. If I schedule it in advance, it always comes up flipping on me to vertical. But if I set the live and go live immediately, it doesn't flip. I don't know why it does that. Don't know why. Where's all my people today? Is there a ball game on or something that I don't know about? 19 watching. Well, that's what I show here. I've been busy putting up Christmas stuff in the yard. I haven't got hardly half of it up yet. That's why I went to Home Depot the other day and did that little video. I had to buy some lights, and it looks like I may have to go back and get another couple of boxes of them. There's Brenda Newton. Hello. How's Brenda doing today? Just the two of us. Yeah, just like the song, Just the Two of Us. Yeah, I love this time of year. That I spend a lot of time in the stores just walking around looking at all the Christmas stuff, all the glitter and the sparkle and the lights, and it just it's uplifting to walk through the stores when you see all the Christmas stuff, the trees, all that kind of stuff out. And there's Tamara. Hey, Tamara. Can't wait to see my Christmas lights. I got to get them all up first. And that video that I uploaded it last night, but it was not supposed to go live, public until this morning. And without me knowing it after I went to bed, it went live. I think I had like 150 or more people watching my video, and it was not even monetized because I hadn't changed the settings on it yet. So I thought to myself, oh my God, it's a lot, it's public and it's not monetized. I got to get in there and change it. You're Jewish. You loved Xmas, Christmas as a kid. Well, my sister-in-law is Jewish. My brother married a Jewish lady, and she's a sweetheart. And he agreed to live as a Jew, after they got married. He found it really difficult because, he basically had to stop eating all the kind of food that he loved and eat the kind of food that they ate. And oh, it got kind of difficult for him. They don't really celebrate Christmas. What is it they celebrate? Hanukkah or something else? And there's Shatika. Hello, Shatika. Blessings to you as well. I thought about going live outside, but I can't because the wind's blowing really hard. So that's stirring up the dust, and that would be making me cough and sneeze constantly. I got kids next door out in the yard playing, so you can hear them. And on this other side, the guy's over there solo working on the inside of the house. But he's got the generator running outside to run his power equipment inside. So that's all I've heard is that generator over on that side today. So I said it'd be better if I did the live inside so I'm not distracted by all the noise coming from either side. And I had to end my video yesterday. Well, I was about ready to end it anyway, putting up decorations. Because all of a sudden they started blasting music over here on this side. I don't know if they were singing karaoke or what they were doing out in the yard, but I had to hurry up and end my video because it would have ruined the whole video. Because they would not have monetized my video hearing that music in the background. So I haven't uploaded it yet. I don't know if it's going to affect it if they heard any of the music in the end of the video. I got to replay it and watch it and see and hope that they don't copyright it. Because if they do, I'll have to delete the whole soundtrack and then narrate the whole video like I do Home Depot and Big Lots and Walmart and all the stores because they play music all the time. And we got Gladys in the house. Well, tell your son I said hi. Or hi, Gladys's son. I don't know if it's Ty or the other one, but hello. I bought my first package of bacon. What are you talking about? You mean you've never had bacon before? Oh my God, I love bacon. I could fry a whole pound of it and just sit there and eat nothing but bacon. Kosher bacon. I don't know. I wonder if there's a difference in the way it tastes and stuff. Because I didn't think that Jews eat bacon at all. They don't eat pork, right? And there's Dennis and grandkids. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, if I remember right, my sister-in-law says they don't eat pork. So bacon is pork. So how do you get away with being able to eat bacon? I mean, if it's kosher bacon, is it prepared differently or... I don't know. It's still pork, though. Bacon is pork. I don't know. I'm so used to eating the kind of food that I eat. If I was to get married and all of a sudden have to stop one way of eating and start a new way, I don't know if I could do it. I know I couldn't. That would be real difficult. Turkey bacon. Okay, there you go. It's not pork bacon. It's turkey bacon. And I never liked turkey bacon. I bought it before thinking I could, have less calories and maybe not gain weight from it. But I didn't like it. It's so different than regular bacon. Well, Tamara Dennis just said that it was turkey bacon. It's not pork bacon. My parents are both gone. That's, oh, I see. You're doing a no-no, huh? But I know they ate veal, that veal parmesan stuff like that, I think. I couldn't remember if they ate chicken and what other stuff they ate. But yeah, I love bacon. I mean, if I had to and I couldn't afford to buy it, I'd have to do without it. But to tell me that I couldn't eat it and it was sitting right there, I'm eating my bacon, y'all. I mean, if I've got the money to buy it, I'm going to buy me some bacon and I'm going to eat me some bacon and eggs for breakfast. And I'm going to eat me a BLT. The only way I'm not going to eat bacon is if I just absolutely do not have the money to buy it. And I've seen the time when I couldn't afford to buy a pound of bacon. And there's Donna. Hi, Donna. How are you doing today? You go, girl. I know a lot of people today that don't, didn't grow up in the South or Southern states, that they don't like collards. They don't like any kind of greens. They don't like cornbread. But the greens are something that's so healthy for you. Even health drinks, they put greens in it. I mean, that's super healthy. And I love all that healthy food. I love my greens. That's why I planted collards. I don't know what I'm going to do with all them collards because I don't think I've got to start taking more stuff out of the freezer and cooking it. So when I start harvesting collards, I got somewhere to cook them and put them in the freezer. That big pot full of greens I cooked last week, I kept a bowl out for me to eat for days, and then I made packages of them and I put them up in the freezer. And if I do my collards, I'll show y'all how I do it. But my son loves greens. I always had greens, but he grew up thinking it was spinach because he loved Popeye. And when he watched Popeye and he saw Popeye with that can of spinach and it would make him strong, he wanted spinach. He says, Mama, get some spinach. I want to eat spinach like Popeye. So I'd get spinach, but I didn't like it. In the can, it's kind of like mushy, and I didn't like the texture of it, and I knew he wouldn't either. So I'd get like mustard greens and turnip greens in the can, and I'd season them when I, warmed them up and stuff. And I told my son that was spinach, and he ate every one of them. He grew up loving his spinach. And of course, I do mix perpetual spinach in with it, so it does have spinach. So, but yeah, he grew up eating that stuff, and he loves it. But it wasn't just all 100% spinach, because I knew he wouldn't eat that slimy stuff. It's overcooked or something when you get it in the can. I don't know what it is. My gran used to cook spinach with hard-boiled eggs. Huh. Yeah, I just, not too many years ago, told him, because I took some greens over there, and it was the greens that he always grew up eating. And he always thought that it was spinach, because he said nobody cooks spinach like his mom, because if he had it anywhere else, it wasn't the same texture. And I told him, I said, well, I got to fess up, Chad. I said, there's a little bit of spinach in those greens, but I said it's spinach, turnip greens, collard greens, mustard greens. It's a mixed salad green is what it is. But it was good, and he loved it. And he still eats it today when he can get it. And there's Linda Blaylock. Hello, Linda. How are you doing this Sunday afternoon? My allergies are getting a little bit better. I've been taking tons of medicine, but this is the worst time of year because all the mold is out, the cedar trees, and it rains a little bit, and then the mushrooms pop out, and I'm allergic to them somewhat. And then it dries off and gets dry, and then the wind blows like it's doing now, and then I'm sick with allergies all over again. Uncle BB says you cook like Granny Clampett. Well, I tell you what, if Granny Clampett cooks like I do, then she was a good cook, and she cooked some healthy food. Because, like I've always said, you don't have to spend a fortune on food to cook healthy or to have good food. You got to know how to cook it. And if you know how to cook it, you can take the cheapest cut of meat and make it fantastic. I'm sure there's stuff that Granny Clampett cooked in that show that I wouldn't eat. Your son drinks green things. Yeah, see, there's greens that you put in energy drinks and stuff because it's healthy. It's the healthiest thing in the world you can get. That's why I grow them. Because, I buy a bag of greens about this tall, and there's not that many greens in it because they're not packed in there. It's $5 easy or more. I don't even know what it is now. It's been quite a while since I bought a bag of greens. But I said, if I can grow them in my garden, I don't have to buy them each time. So the only time I buy them now is if I absolutely have none in the garden, there's none left in the freezer, and I want me some greens. I'll go buy a bag of them. I'm a combo of Ellie Mae and Granny. Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment. I never thought about that. Ellie loved her critters like you, and Granny cooked hog jows. Now, I might cook a hog jow. I'll put it in a pot and throw me some greens in with it just to season my greens. I don't usually buy the hog jows, though. Or neck bones. I mean, I grew up eating neck bones, and they're good. I just never did cook them for my kids because they didn't particularly care for them. They didn't have enough meat on them for my kids. In fact, I was looking at a package of neck bones in the store this week, and I thought to myself, you know what? I ought to buy me a package of neck bones and do a video on cooking those neck bones. And I might do it yet. I just need to get some stuff out of my freezer so I can make room for collards coming in. My brother introduced me to kale. Well, see, kale's good. I mix my kale, my collards, my mustard greens, my turnip greens, all that you can mix together, your perpetual spinach, and make a salad, basically, and you cook it. And you got all the greens in there. And it's the healthiest thing in the world you can eat. It's good for your digestive system. It's good for your bowels. It's good for everything. Yeah, the Clampetts were healthy. Old-timey people were healthy because they mostly ate out of their garden. But Granny change out fuses when the power goes out. I don't know. In that house they had before they found oil, they probably didn't have any fuses because they didn't have any electricity. And in the mansion they moved into, they probably didn't know what a fuse was. They had somebody working there that would change the fuse for them if it needed it. But most of the time the fuses don't burn out nowadays. And I don't think my fuse actually burned out. I think there was something else. Either something was loose. Don't ask me how it could have worked loose, but I took those other fuses and I slammed them in there and the lights came on. I said, well, I ought to pull them back out and put the old ones back in there and just give them a good hard shove and see if the lights will come on. Then I'll know for sure whether they're burnt out or not. But it's been years and years since I've had to change a fuse of any kind. I haven't even had to trip a breaker in many years. Because I've got a separate line for my my freezer and my fireplace. They go on a separate line straight to the pole. They don't plug into the house circuit. And my Christmas lights outside, they don't plug in for the most part to the house. They plug in outside right at the utility pole. So usually I don't have to worry about them tripping a breaker, burning out a fuse, or overloading the line or anything like that. There's very few of them that plug into the house. And I think that is basically the reindeer and the unicorn that I put out front. And I'm thinking about changing that. I may just run a separate line like I do the rest of them. Run a separate line out there so it doesn't plug into the house line at all. It's strictly outside on its own line. My dad was a kosher butcher. We had veal and minute steak lamb chops. Well, that sounds good. I mean, veal is good. I've eaten it before, but I've never really bought veal and made veal parmesan because I heard so many stories about it. Everybody says, well, I wouldn't dare buy veal. That's unborn babies that they take and get the meat from. And it's like, no, they don't do that. And then some people say, no, it's just the young yearlings that after they're born, they're not real newborn, but they're young calves or whatever you want to call them. You're a Wonder Woman, I swear. I don't feel like a Wonder Woman. Sometimes I know myself I try to do too much. And there's Jackie M. Hello, Jackie. How are you doing today? What is the true story on the veal, Uncle BB? Or does anybody else know that eats veal very much? Do you know what the true story of veal is? Oh no, I didn't turn my communications off of my notifications off of my camera. So y'all liable to be hearing phone calls and everything else coming in. And I don't know how I can do it now because I'll disconnect my live if I go into it. Yeah, I've heard so many different stories about veal. And it's probably too expensive for me to buy anyway. And come to think of it, I don't remember seeing it in the stores out here. It might be only certain stores you can buy it in. I have no idea. I guess because I never really looked for it, searched it out. Well, good, Jackie. Glad to hear you're doing fine. Where's Wilson today? I haven't seen Wilson come in. Yeah, I decided this weekend that I was going to start getting all my Christmas stuff out, get it all set up in the yard, make sure all the lights are burning. So then in December, when I want to start lighting up my yard, then I can just plug it in. I don't have lights to change, I don't have all that to do. It'll all be done. You're making an almond cake, Tamara. That sounds good. I've never made an almond cake, but it sounds like it'd be good. Dennis says, I'm not sure there's kosher and unkosher veal. To be honest, as a kid, I wasn't crazy about meat. Huh. Antonio Manuel Cruz, hello. Hola. How's life treating you in your neck of the woods, Antonio? Well, I tell you what, I grew up eating meat. Beef, pork, mostly pork, because where I'm from, it's pork country, just like out here, it's beef country. And until recently, you just didn't get pork in a restaurant. You didn't get pulled pork and stuff like that. But they have several restaurants now you can get it in. I just haven't been to them. And I need to go. And And if I do, I'll take you with me. If I go in one and find they're not playing music so I don't get monetized, so we'll see. I've thought many a time of stopping at that one little place just before you get to the town square. They have pulled pork. I was going to go in there and just see if I could get me a cheap pulled pork sandwich and see what it was like, and I just haven't been there. I don't know. I think she's been watching other channels. She said there was too much drama going on in my lives because I sent her a message wanting to know, why she hadn't been in my lives, and she says I've been taking a break, but she's been watching other people's videos, which is fine. She can watch anybody she wants. But I miss her. I'd like to have her back in my lives. And y'all know that drama is not something that I go for. If I end up with drama in my live chat, it's going to go away pretty quick. Yeah, I miss April. I wish she'd come on back in. I like egg salad and tuna. My father and bro were meat and potatoes. Well, I like egg salad. I love tuna salad. I love chicken salad. But I love my meat and potatoes too. I mean, I grew up in the country for the most part in North Carolina where my dad was from. And you had real southern meals down there. And of course, my mom was from New York, so she'd cook more like spaghetti and pastas and stuff like that she was used to eating, or Irish stew, but it was all good. I have no complaints about either side. I think my downfall is I just love food, I mean, there's very few things that I just will not eat. Escargot is one that I positively will not eat. I don't think you could pay me to eat it. Octopus is another one because the first time I ever tried eating it, it was fried and it was in a restaurant. It was like trying to chew up a inner tube. And that's impossible. You get a piece of rubber in your mouth, there's no way you're going to chew it up. You'd have to swallow it whole. I chose to spit it out in a napkin. It's like, I can't eat this stuff. There was no taste to it. No. Some people swear by it. I said, well, you must have it by a different cook that knew what they were doing, because what I've ever eaten was terrible. Uncle BB says, I love drama, grew up with it. Oh, my dad would, Uncle BB. Mom cooked ham bones and neck bones, all kind of beef bones, and if it had that marrow in it, Dad sucked it out. He loved it. That's the reason I said when I cooked that shank, that hole was full of bone marrow. And I know my dad would have eaten that. He would not have thrown it away. I couldn't bring myself to even put any in my mouth. It just looks kind of like gelatin-like, and it's like, ugh. I don't know. I might like it if I'd ever put some in my mouth and try it. I don't know, but to this day, I haven't eaten any. And I'm sure that marrow was good for you. Yes, teeth spring right back up. And Jackie said her dad loved bone marrow. My dad was a caveman. I know, doesn't it seem like it, Dennis? The more you chew on that octopus, seems like the bigger that piece gets. It's impossible. It's actually good, Jackie. What are you talking about? The bone marrow or the octopus? I'm sure the bone marrow has a good taste. I just haven't eaten it. And I love turkey drumsticks. Walmart has them already. I think they're already cooked or smoked or something for like $6 a piece. Great big ones. Oh, really, Dennis? I didn't know that. Well, the next time I get my hands on a little piece of octopus, I'm going to try fishing with it. Well, back home they say that fatback is good to fish with. Cut little bitty strips of it and put it on your hook, and they think it's some kind of little fish, and they go after it. But you can't get it out here. The closest thing you can buy to fatback is what they call salt pork, but it looks like a piece of bacon. And the true fatback does not have any red meat in it at all. And it's all salt cured. It's not smoked. It's not hickory smoked and all that stuff. The marrow, not octopus. Yeah, it probably does have a really good taste. That's probably why the gravy and everything I made with it when I cooked it the other day tasted so good, is because it does have the flavor of that marrow in it. Yeah, I never did either, Dennis. I didn't share my fatback with the fish. If I had fatback, I fried it and I ate it myself. Well, calamari is what? Fried clams or fried... That is fried octopus, isn't it? Isn't that what calamari is? Isn't that the fried octopus? Because I know we got some in a restaurant years ago, and I had to take it out of a squid. Well, squid and octopus is about the same thing. But oh my God, you'd have to chew on it for you never could get it chewed up. If you just wanted something to exercise your mouth on chewing, get you a piece of it. Because I guarantee you, if I can't chew it up, I'm not swallowing it. My son-in-law said he loved it. We were at a restaurant one time, and he ordered some, and I tried eating it. And that's when I had to actually take it out of my mouth, and I just put the napkin up to my mouth, and I put the piece of octopus in the napkin and put it on the table. I said, or in my plate. I said, I'm sorry, I can't chew that up. It's like chewing rubber. And I said, it has no taste at all. And my son-in-law said, well, I love it. What is there to love about it except the bread that you bread it with to fry it? Because that's the only thing that had any taste. Yeah, I'm part Italian too. My mom was part Italian. Well, my mom was half Italian because my grandfather was 100% Italian right from Italy. I mean, he was just a little toddler when they came over to the States from Italy. True Italian. And my grandmother was English and Irish. So put those two together with all the different recipes they had, that they grew up with. We had some good eating. No, no false teeth with octopus. I know, I do it all the time. My dad used to tell my mom that you could tell she was Italian because when her mouth opened, her hands started moving. And I'm the same way. When I start talking, I'm moving my hands around. I'm talking with my hands just like my mom did. Yeah, definitely Italian. I can't help it. It's just something something I grew up with. My dad used to tell my mom, he said, woman, if I tied your hands down, you couldn't open your mouth. But I mean, he was joking with her. He just said, you'd never be able to say another word if I tied your hands. But she was, oh my God, my mom was the best cook in the world. And her yeast breads and yeast rolls, oh my God, they were to die for. I've never been able to bake bread or yeast rolls like her. I've tried, but they don't turn out the way my mom's did. Well, I have English, Irish, Scottish, Italian. I'm all mixed up. But it comes with interesting eating when you have a lot of different, you know, backgrounds. Because each set of people, in different areas of the world, they grew up eating a little differently. The way they prepared their food was different. And I found too that most of the pizzas that they always made years ago, the true Italians, they never had meat on them. They used stuff right out of the garden, like the tomatoes came from the garden that they made the tomato paste with, the olives, all kind of veggies that they put on their pizzas. It never was meat that they put on there. They used a lot of cheese, homemade cheese. Maybe that's why I love pizza. I could just sit down and eat a whole pizza by myself. A little pizza, not a great big one. Yeah, I love to be able to plant olive trees and some of the trees that they had in Italy, but in this climate they wouldn't survive, I don't think. They couldn't survive this 105, 110-degree temperatures in the summer that we get most of the time. Because I found out olive trees really don't like the hot sun. They favor a little bit of shade. Yeah, I've done everything with my hands. I've sat on my hands. I've crossed the hands. I've held my hands. I've done everything to keep from moving my hands around. But it's subconscious. Sometimes you don't even think about it. And there you are talking with, moving your hands around. Pizza's expensive. I know. I usually make my pizza at home. I make my own crust. I've done several videos on where I made my own crust and I made several different types of pizza. I haven't made actually the crust in a long time. I think the last pizza that I made, I used a loaf of the Italian bread, and I just split it in half, opened it up, and I put my sauce and my cheese and everything on it, and made my pizza that way. Because I wanted pizza for dinner that night, and I didn't want to go to the trouble to make the dough. And I had that loaf of bread, or it was a half a loaf. So I just sliced it open and made me pizza with it. It was good. Gladys said she's all Italian. Well, then you know what I'm talking about. I grew up eating the Irish stew, the spaghetti, the pizza, lots of different Italian dishes. And I grew up eating what we called the Spanish rice, that it came from the way my grandmother cooked for my granddad, who was Italian. And out here they call it Mexican rice. But we called it Spanish rice. It had the tomato sauce in it, or you put a can of tomatoes in it. You can put sausage or, any kind of meat in it. I usually put sausage. Kielbasa sausage, I'll slice it up and put it in there. Almost like a gumbo that the Cajuns eat. Only I don't spice it up hot because I don't want it hot. And come to think of it, I haven't fixed that in a long time. I need to fix me some of that because I love it. Hey, Linda, thanks for the last night. What do you mean, Eric? You've lost me. I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks for last night. I was out working on my lights until almost dark. I got hungry and tired, and I come in and had to get something to eat and rested, took me a good shower. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but he's not said anything too bad yet, so we'll let him slide. I love stuffed cabbage, the cabbage rolls. I need to do some of those. I want to do some and use the collard leaves and show everybody that you can take a collard leaf and do it the same way the cabbage. You cook your cabbage and make a cabbage roll or stuffed cabbage with it. So that's coming up. Oh, the video that I posted. Yeah, that video I uploaded it last night, or it was uploading when I went to bed, and I didn't realize it was set to public. And as soon as it finished uploading, it went public, and I didn't know it. I got up this morning and I was going to go in there and publish it, and it had like almost 150 some views on it, and it was not monetized. I said, "Oh no!" It went live and I didn't know it. So I went in there real quick and changed the setting to monetized. So and I said, "Oh my God, had that many views on it and it was not even monetized yet." Yeah, he said it in a cute way. No, I haven't really planted corn. I've noticed some of the corn that falls out of the bird seed, it comes up in the yard. And I've often wondered, well, I wonder how the corn would grow out here. So this spring, I might try some corn. It'll probably look weird growing in a big tote, but I might try some and see how it does. Or who knows, I may just stick it in the ground and see what happens. My collards are going crazy. I'll tell you, those that I put in that raised bed out here, they are so pretty. Oh my gosh. The other ones that are on the other side of the house are not growing as fast because they're not getting as much sun. But I moved part of the buckets over next to the other raised bed where they were growing real well, and they started growing a little bit better. I need to move all of them over there, but I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put them. But new stuff that I've tried in the garden, I've tried in different spots so I can see what spot it grows the best, whether it wants sun all day long or part of the day. And one thing it helps too is, the weather's cooled off, so they don't mind being in the sun all day. Now, if it was the middle of the summer, those collards probably would burn up, or the worms would eat them up. But when the weather cools off, the bugs disappear. The worms don't come out as bad in the wintertime or the cool weather as they do in the hot of the summer. My sunflowers grow like crazy. The pumpkins that I planted, the vine grew like crazy. It was putting out flowers like crazy. but it never produced a pumpkin. By the time it was ready to produce, it got so hot, it killed the vine. And I've never tried the corn, except for, like I said, it falls out of the bird feeder and it starts growing at the base of the feeder. And usually I just mow it down, but I think I'm going to try growing some and see how it works. Because it comes up voluntarily here and it was growing pretty. So we'll see. Oh my God, morning glories are rampant out here. They take over everything. And these are wild morning glories that have come up everywhere. And not only in my yard, I've seen people post on Facebook in different parts of the county here where people are asking, does anyone know what this vine is with these flowers on? It's taken over my yard, or it's taken over my fence. It's taken over my garden. It's wild morning glory. It grows rampant. I've got it growing up in the trees over here in the lot, my vacant lot with the trees on it. I mow it down, try to keep it. It was growing all in my watermelon, and I was over there trying to keep it pulled out so it wouldn't just kill the watermelon vine. I don't know what I'm going to do with it this summer. It'll be even worse because it grew like crazy this past summer. Yeah, my pumpkin vine grew. It was a beautiful vine. It had these big, pretty flowers. And I said, well, maybe it'll make at least one pumpkin. And then it started getting so hot in the summer that it killed the vine. Pumpkin vines don't like this Texas heat. Not when it gets 105 or 110 degrees. It took a few years and now it comes back. Huh. Yeah, we've got bad wind here today. I mean, the wind was just, and it still is, it's just blowing the limbs everywhere. Well, I usually compare the 60s to now. Because in the 60s, I was like 19, 20 years old along that period. And that's when I really noticed stores and the way people live and that type of thing. And it was a lot different than now. Especially from the country. Country people, especially in the 50s and 60s, did not care what you looked like. They didn't care about designer clothes. They never heard of designer clothes, designer shoes. I mean, I'm sure they had them, but people didn't get into all that. Nowadays, I mean, especially like, say, 20 years ago, people were so in designer this, designer that. You had to spend a fortune on your clothes or you didn't dress right. You know, they cared so much about the brand that you wore, not whether it was comfortable or not. People back in the 60s didn't care about that. If you got something and it fit right, it was comfortable, that was fine. They didn't care, you know? They didn't care who made the product or if it was a brand name or anything like that. It could be homemade and it was just probably even better. I grew up wearing a lot of homemade clothes that my mom made me. And most of my friends would have rather wore the dresses that I wore than to wear what their mom bought at the store. Well, I think when you get so high and mighty and you live in a $500,000 home, $300,000 home, and you start caring more for the brand you buy uh, and all that, to me, that's downright snobbish. You're a snobbish person when you get that way. You're getting too good for yourself, put it that way. Because it's not all about how much your house cost. It's not all about how much the dress you wore cost or the brand name on it. Yeah, I wore whatever I could get hold of. If it looked right and it fit right, I was tickled to death. I'm such a short person. Back when I was growing up, they didn't have petite sizes in a store. You couldn't buy pants that fit. You always had to cut them off because they were too long. The dresses were too long. They were too long waisted, so they never fit right. I ended up always buying skirts and blouses because, to make them fit right in the waistline. Otherwise, the waistline was that much too long below my waist. And my mom would make my clothes most of the time or make my slacks. She made me a red pair of corduroy pants one time and a corduroy jacket. And I tell you what, I love that outfit. All my friends loved it. They would have rather had what my mom made me to wear than anything they could have bought in a store anywhere. Yeah, see there? Jackie said they're washed. I don't know what she meant by that statement. I have no idea. Well, people, the uppity people, as I call them, they get to where they think they're better than anybody else because they live in this high dollar home. They drive a high dollar car. They wear high dollar clothes. And you know what? Even if I was a millionaire, if they had a good sale on at Marshall's or Ross's or Walmart's, and they had something I wanted, it would not bother me a bit to walk in Walmart and buy that item that was on sale than to go to a high end store and buy the same thing and pay 10 times as much for it. To my way of thinking, the true rich people that earned it, they didn't get to be rich and wealthy by squandering their money. They hit the sales and bought stuff that was on sale. They saved their money. They didn't spend it and throw it away. And just because you got good money coming in doesn't mean you need to spend it like crazy. Go to the sales, buy the food that's on sale, save your money. I mean, I worked for a man that was like that. He had money. He owned 2 hotels. He lives in a really nice home. I mean, he's passed away now. But when Walmart had a sale on steak, he went in there and bought every one he could buy when they were on sale. And he waited for those sales. That's how he had the money to pay for his hotels and his nice home and his nice cars. And he didn't squander his money. It's the people that fell into being rich or inherited being rich that squander their money. Yeah, there was girls back then that were snooty, but a lot of times they were snooty because they were jealous of what you had and you didn't realize it. And hardworking. They knew what it was like to earn a dollar, so they didn't spend it lightly. They didn't give their money away. They made every penny count when they spent it at the store. That's how they had money. That's how I have a little bit. Like if I have an emergency come up to get a repair done in the house, I worry about what it's going to cost, but I do have a little bit of money in a nest egg just for the emergency that comes up. I don't squander that money. I keep it on hand for that emergency. So if I've got to have a plumber come in here because I've got a busted pipe, I've got the money to pay for that repair if I can't do it myself. And sometimes you just can't do it yourself. I mean, I could win the lottery and have $7 million in the bank, and I'll guarantee you I'm still going to hit the sales. I'm not going to pay full price for anything if I can help it. And that's how, if you think you're rich, you can get richer, is don't throw your money away. Make every dollar count. Don't get to the point where ye wouldn't be seen going in a store buying something on sale. Well, la-di-da. I can't believe that anyone would be that so uppity because they had a little bit of money coming in, that they were living comfortably, that they thought they were beyond and above going in for a sale on meat or clothes or anything else. I mean, that's ridiculous. They wouldn't be seen going in buying stuff on sale. That's stupid to me. I don't care how you look at it. It's downright ignorant. And that's where you get snooty from. And I'm going to hush. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Yeah, there was a man in my hometown. He was probably the wealthiest person that lived in our county, in Pender County. He had a great big farm. He had horses, all kind of stuff. And he'd always drive around in his old battered up dirty station wagon with his dogs, his hound dogs. And he dressed like a bum. I mean, I don't think his clothes had been washed in over a week or more. And that's the way he went around. He was always so busy, he didn't even take time to dress decent or anything else. He always looked like his clothes needed to be washed. He always looked like he needed a bath. And he was the wealthiest man in the whole county. And I guarantee you, if there was a sale on something he needed, he'd go to that sale before he'd spend the whole dollar for it. You love being a poor rich man. Well, if you're poor and you got friends, you know who your real friends are. You know they're not buttering up to you to get anything. Because if you don't have anything to give, you know they're not being your friends for anything except that they're your friend. Oh, she always dressed pretty decent and nice, but she wasn't out there doing like him. But she didn't dress like a rich person. You know, she dressed like normal, everybody else. Yeah, poor and humble. Yeah, evidently he worked hard for what he had. And, dressing in a $300 suit didn't appeal to him. Yeah, you're poor but rich with grandkids. Well, hi, Alfonso. I haven't seen you in a day or two. How are you doing? Glad you could pop back in. And there's Wilson. I didn't even notice Wilson came in. I was wondering I just here a minute or so ago said, wonder where Wilson is. Yeah, see, my dad grew up on a farm. His dad wore up coveralls. He was a farmer. He dressed like a farmer. Yeah, I popped into Rita's Roost the other day and Alfonso was there talking about his trains. He loves his trains. She just gave away a quilt. But you had to join and be a member, not a subscriber. You had to be a paying member to get your name in the pot of the drawing. And I almost did it, and I said, no, I don't even need a new quilt. I've got so much in my closet now that I don't need another one. I don't have anywhere to put it. I could have given it as a gift, but I didn't think about that. But yeah, you had to join as a member, a paying member, to get your name in the pot for the drawing of the quilt. I thought that was a unique idea to do, you know. Yes, people that grew up and really worked for their money, they're frugal people. They don't throw their money away. They know how hard they work to earn it. And your mom tried to turn him into Cary Grant. I bet it didn't work. Well, I've listened to stories that my Aunt Gladys would tell about when she was a kid growing up, about their farmhouse they lived in. As many kids as 9 kids now, they had a one-room house, farmhouse. Their living room and their bedrooms was the same room. Their kitchen was to one side. At nighttime, they had pallets on the floor that they slept on. And she said her upbringing was so much fun. They had the biggest time at night. Everybody sleeping around the same room, chit-chatting and singing or carrying on before they fell asleep. She said she had a good childhood. She doesn't look down on her upbringing at all. And then when they built the newer house, they had separate bedrooms, but they didn't have that many of them. And I think most of the older kids were probably married and gone before they ever had that built. I think the girls had a room and the boys had a room and the parents had a room, and that was about it. Yeah, it doesn't make $1 million home to make a family. A family is in the heart. It's the people. Wilson's on the winning streak. I won Go game last night and won free spurs. Well, listen to you go, Wilson. Wow. You've been winning at trivia, getting prizes, and now you've won you some free spurs. Cook some beef stew and rice. I don't usually cook rice with my beef stew. If I cook beef stew, it's got potatoes and carrots and onions and stuff in it and peas. Now, if I cook something like I did the shank, just with the meat and the gravy, then I'll maybe make rice to go with it, or mashed potato, cream potatoes. Or in my case the other night, I just made a baked potato and put it on my baked potato. But it would have been real good with rice. Have a happy home all by myself. Yep. I mean, growing up, I never knew we were poor. We were rich in love. We loved one another. We had a happy time. We had a good time growing up, living at home. Never knew that I was a poor person until we moved away from home and got married on my own. And I thought to myself, well, darn, I'm considered the lower class. I'm not even up there in the middle class people. I don't even make that much money. And I got to looking at some of the statistics the other day. And I said, well, I didn't realize that with the income I got coming in, I was considered poverty level. I said, well, I guess that's one reason I decided to go to YouTube. I had to have more money coming in. I had to get out of poverty. I couldn't pay my bills. I'm just trying to build my channel back up. I mean, I don't know what was going on this last couple of months, but my views have been down. My income is down. It got up there pretty good one time, and then it just took a pitfall. Somebody out there didn't like me making anything on YouTube, and I guess, I don't know. Well, the only way a little bit of money is going to change me is making me happy that I can pay my bills without worrying from one month to the next if I'm going to be able to pay this bill or that bill, you know? As long as I got enough money coming in to pay my bills and take care of myself, I'm happy. I don't have to be rich. I think I'm rich in what I know, my knowledge, my experiences in life, that type of thing. And I know there's a lot of stuff out there I don't know. A lot of stuff out there I haven't experienced, but a lot of it I don't want to know. I don't want to experience it either. I get retirement, so go figure. But yeah, see, that's all I had coming in was my retirement check, and it was not enough to keep my bills paid and pay for, breakdowns and repairs at the house and stuff like that. And I was barely getting bills paid every month, so I had to do something. I said something's got to give. I got to have more money coming in. So that's one reason I decided to go to YouTube. But I didn't realize there were going to be haters out there. You know, as so many people are on YouTube making good money, you would never think that some hater would come after me. I'm not big time by a long shot. I don't make hardly anything on YouTube. That's just it. I couldn't sell them. They wouldn't buy them from me. My daughter-in-law said, well, you need to go to the farmer's market with your collards and your canned stuff and all that. She doesn't realize that you've got to be almost like a business owner, and you got to have a license to even set up a stand at a farmer's market. I found that out. And then I'm sure they charge you for the spot. Like on the town square during the holidays, I could pay for a spot to set up a little stand and sell stuff, but I got to pay for that spot. And it used to be $25, $30 a day. And now I'm sure it's probably double that or more. And I said, I can't see myself paying a day that much and set up a stand. I said, I probably wouldn't make enough to even pay for setting it up there. They turned off my aunt's gas and light, and then they got well off. Well, how did that happen, Uncle BB? There's got to be a good story behind that. You took your husband's retirement. It's more than mine. Yeah, I thought about that too, but I couldn't do it. You got to be married at least 10 years to do that. And I'm like a couple of months shy of the 10 years, so it kind of disqualified me. I didn't even apply for it. I probably should have applied for it and just saw what happened, but I didn't. Dennis said, I have retirement. The bank laughs when it's deposited. Look down on. Well, yours is probably more than mine, Uncle BB or Dennis. Mine is so little, it's unreal. And then you have to pay for your Medicare. You got to pay for your supplement plan. So that's a good $400 a month right there. That comes out of that check every month. I got hit with a warning a while back for invalid traffic on mine. What? YouTube will get you for that. They can terminate your channel. I got hit with. How would you have invalid traffic? That I don't understand that. Oh, I don't ever tell them to run my channel. I just tell them to watch. You know, I tell them to everybody please share, like, and subscribe, and above all, watch my videos. Yeah, if I could save my electric and gas bill, I'd probably be pretty wealthy. My water bill, I mean, if I didn't have to pay a water bill, electric bill, a gas bill, I'd have quite a bit of money every month to pay for other stuff I need. But unfortunately, you just can't disconnect your water, your gas, and your electricity. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't ask them to do that, Alfonso. I know some of the people, I've heard a couple of YouTubers that did that, tell them just to turn them on and they didn't even have to watch it, just let them play. I've never done that. Never will. All I've ever done was please everybody, please like, share, subscribe to my videos, and above all, watch my videos. I mean, I put a lot of time in my videos. Some of them aren't that good because I have to operate the camera and do everything else that goes into the video myself. And that interferes with the quality sometimes of my video. But there's nothing I can do about that. I do the best I can. But I put a lot of time and effort in my videos. And I really want people to watch them. Because I think some people can benefit from some of my videos. Maybe all of them. I can't take that much time to make a video. But it does, even the videos that I produce, Alfonso, it takes a lot of time to video them, edit them, what I can edit them, and then upload them to YouTube. It takes a lot of time. Sometimes I'm up to 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning just working on videos to get it published that next day. And that's why a lot of people just go live with their videos all the time, is so they don't have to do all that. But the only thing is, it's hard because you can't edit a live video. You can't pause it and say, well, wait a minute, I got to go do this. I'll be right back. You can't pause it when you put something in a pot to cook. It's got to cook for 2 hours. You can't pause it for 2 hours, then come back. People have to watch it for those 2 hours. Yeah, well, I don't even have a video camera. I use my phone. I use the camera on my phone because I found I can work it so much better than trying to use a camera. And when I go in stores and different places, people don't back off from me thinking I'm videoing everything. I mean, some people wonder when I've got my phone in my hand. They think I'm probably videoing, but they don't treat me like I've got the plague. Well, Alfonso, like that young 19-year-old said in my live this past week, he said he just got his new phone, a $5,000 iPhone, and he's paying for it himself. I can't afford a $5,000 iPhone. You can pause the videos on that and then restart them, and you don't have to piece your videos together. Yeah, the huge tapes for the cameras and stuff. Yeah, I'd rather go places with my phone and video with my phone than a camera. You got your camcorder in 99? Well, my anonymous subscriber sent me a camcorder, but I never could get it to work right. I never could get the picture to come in clear. The picture came in terrible. It didn't have any instructions with it. So I don't know if it was me trying to get it set correctly or what the deal was, but we ended up sending that back. So I don't have that now. Yeah, Alfonso, that's what I use. I've got an A53 Samsung Android phone. That's what I do my videoing with. That and my A10E right here. My A10E right there is the first one that I did in all of my videos with. My very first videos were with this one right here. And then I upgraded to the A53, which is still not a real up-to-date phone. But it's what I could afford at the time. Get rid of that phone call. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't set it on no notifications, and I'm afraid if I try to go in and change it now, it's going to disconnect the live. One of the people I watch on YouTube said they did most of their videos on their Samsung phone. And man, they've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They make real good. I mean, they have tens of thousand views on every video they publish. And then they upgraded to another Android phone. I don't remember the name of it. 224, A224 or something like that. But it's a little bit out of my price range. So your other camera has flash cubes. Wow. Your 1978 uses 8mm magazine film. Well, I have an A53. I don't know what the difference in the S24 and the A53 would be. Conquer Music. Welcome. What kind of difference would there be between an S24 and an A53? Because I don't have a clue. Well, if I lost my phone, I'd panic too because my camera would be gone. I'd have to do everything on my old phone that I don't even have calling on. I have the phone, but it's not, you can't make a phone call on it. I mean, you can if it's an emergency. It allows you to make an emergency call. I guess it goes through the Wi-Fi. But other than that, I can't receive or send calls with it. But my video still works, and I can go on the internet with it. I can do Wi-Fi calling through the internet with it. Yeah, it was for Wilson. Let tell you. Well, I've heard some of the newer Galaxy phones have pause buttons on the cameras. And that one that young man bought for not that said he was 19 and he's paying $5,000 for his phone, his camera has a pause button on it. But that's $5,000 I don't have. I can't afford to pay that much for a phone. I mean, it's not a lot of money when you consider you're doing your videos with it, but it's a lot of money on my income. I can't afford it. Exactly. I mean, that's how I called Ann that time when she was in the hospital. I called her on Google. I don't have phone service on this phone, but this is the one I called her on. I called her through Facebook. And that's how I got to talk to her. We were live when I called her. It was on this phone through Wi-Fi. Yeah, I can't afford to buy a $5,000 car right now. I bought and paid for my car that I've got, my Nissan, before I retired. I made sure my car was paid for before I retired because I knew I couldn't make payments on it afterward. Not if I lived just on my check, I couldn't. So I'm one of these people that was on a fixed income, and it was not fun. It was sad. I said, well, I'm not dead and buried yet. I've got to do something to bring in some more money. So I decided I'd give YouTube a try. I just didn't think I'd run into so many haters out there that would try to take your channel down. I mean, why would they even care? I mean, I'm just a little YouTuber. I've got 7,000 subscribers, but I only get maybe 700 views per video. And you got to have 1,000 views to make even a dime off of. Your parents' house was $21,500. Yeah, back in the day, the homes didn't cost that much. Today, that same house would probably cost you $80,000 that they paid $21,000 for. Like the first brand new mobile home I ever bought when I was married to my first husband. Guess what? It was a 2-bedroom, living room, kitchen, 10 by, I don't know, 10 by 40 some feet. Brand new, $7,000 total. Today, that same mobile home would cost you $30,000 or more. They'd laugh at you if you wanted to pay $7,000 for a 2-bedroom mobile home. I think this was back in 1965 we bought the new house, the new mobile home. It was during the time my daughter was born, or just before we had her. She was born in 69, and we had the mobile home for a little while before I ever got pregnant with her. And you could buy a brand new car for $2,000-$3,000. That same car today you'd pay $40,000 for. I mean, that's how prices have just quadrupled on us. The only problem is the wages haven't went up with the prices. I mean, they went up some, but not that much. Not enough to make payments on these high dollar items that we didn't used to have to pay that much on. I remember because back when we bought that house, I'd have to figure it up. I gotta get me a cough drop. The total cost on that house was a little over $7,000. I'm the one that handled the money in our household. I saw to it that the payments were made every month. Our payments were $53.50 some odd cents a month. Tell me where you could get a brand new 2-bedroom home for $53 a month now. You can't. There's no way. But even back then, that was a lot of money because you didn't make that much money either. You don't have buses within 60 miles. We don't have buses here. This town doesn't have buses. It doesn't have taxi service. They refuse to give anybody a taxi license because they have like a county transit system they use. It's kind of like Uber, but it's the county. You call them and you schedule a ride with them, and they charge you just like Uber would. But people try not to ever use it because it's so expensive. I don't want to move in with a roommate. I own my own house. Why would I want to move in with somebody? I like living by myself. Yeah, the closest place they have buses running is in Fort Worth. They don't have buses here. Your grandpa was a taxi driver? How neat. Yeah, my son found out what the roommates were all about. When he first moved out and started renting on his own, he had roommates. He got rid of them real fast. He realized you don't want roommates. They didn't want to pay the rent, they didn't want to pay for anything, but they wanted to live there. And the way he got rid of the first bunch that got him into a bind, he moved out and left them there. He said, if they want to live there, they can pay for it. I'm gone. And they're not coming with me. Yeah, they're right up in your business, too. Well, I lost my young couple next across the street. You know, I told you they moved out into a little travel trailer on the other side of town. Well, they were back over here the other day with the travel trailer. They were loading up stuff with boxes and everything. And they put two of their garbage bins out to the street to where their garbage would be picked up that week. And then they never came back. And I texted her and I said, would you like for me to move your trash bins back closer to the house? Because I said they're right up on the street and I'm afraid a car might hit them or something. And she said, yes, please do that, because she said they're not even in the same state anymore. They've completely moved out. So they were going in there getting all the last minute stuff out of the house. They've completely moved out. They're in another state. I don't know where. And she said it would probably be 2 or 3 years before they'd ever be able to move back here. But their intentions are to rent the house out. But so far they've not rented it. So I don't know who my new neighbors might be in the future. Well, I got a telephone. I could probably call somebody. And if I couldn't do that, I guess I'd just have to fend for myself. I guess if my son hadn't heard from me in several weeks or a month, he might check to see what's wrong. He might come over here and find me dead in the house one day. I don't know. I don't worry about that stuff. No, I'm not taking the chances on roommates. No, 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 no. Hi, Pat Potter. How are you doing today? 911. Yeah, I can always call 911, get an emergency ambulance or something out here if I was able to dial it. And if I wasn't able to dial 911, I'm probably dead anyway. No, mine is the A53, not 23. And it's got a darn good camera on it. It's just that sometimes I don't remember to turn notifications off on my phone when I'm using the camera, like today. I get offers for that life alert all the time. I don't want it. Well, my house is mussed up anyway. But I've lived alone for so many years, I don't think I can handle having a roommate. Too set in my ways. I don't want nobody messing with my stuff. Exactly. I need to do a good cleaning out. I mean, I need to start from one end of the house all the way to the other, go through a bunch of stuff and get rid of lots of stuff. Well, thank you, Uncle BB. I don't know what an A23 is. I've got a A53. 5 3, not 2 3. I don't even know what an A23 is. Let me look it up. Our police in our town being eliminated. Well, there's Gizmo. Yeah, you're one of the trolls that we got rid of several times before, Gizmo. Don't start your crap in here today or we'll get rid of you. Yeah, I don't know what an A23 is. Mine is an A53. If he says anything else out of the way in chat, then put him in timeout. Yeah, you don't want to feed him after dark. Well, I tried to look up the difference in them and I'm not bringing it anything. Yeah, I've got an A53. Wouldn't that be better than an A23? Yeah, I think my A53 is a little bit higher up than the A23. I've got 128 gigabytes of memory or storage, 6 gigabytes of RAM, and the A23 is smaller. It only has 64 gigabytes of storage and 4 gigabytes of RAM. So I think I've got the better phone with the A53, even though I don't have the best phone for videoing yet. But, you know, hey, I'll keep improving maybe. Oh, there's Randy. Hi, Randy. Long time no see in chat. Randy's been busy. No, yeah, you misunderstood me. It's a A53. 5-3. It was the only one I could afford to upgrade to. It's not a high dollar phone, but it's a good phone. It's got a good camera. It just doesn't have a pause button. I know what A11 is, Buck Owens song. Yeah, we're supposed to have our first freeze this coming week. I think Thursday night. It's supposed to get down to 30 degrees. So my plants may be gone Thursday night. I'll have to make sure I get out there and pick even my green tomatoes Wednesday. And then the next week after that, one night it's supposed to get down to 30. So if the first freeze don't kill them, the second one will. But I'm not going to take a chance on my tomatoes. I'll pick every one of those green tomatoes I can find out, then bring them in. If they're not turning to where they'll ripen up, I'll just have me some fried green tomatoes. I haven't had any fried green tomatoes yet. I haven't fixed any. Beef tripe, chicken feet, and rice. I don't think so, Wilson. I don't want any of that. I'd eat the rice, but I'm not eating the beef tripe or the chicken feet. You can have all that. And there's Emily in the house. Hi there, Emily. How you doing? They don't need sweaters. They've got so much fur. They keep looking for ways to get cool. They don't need to get hot. Wilson's telling us to eat some beef tripe, chicken feet, and rice. And I told him I don't think so. I'll eat the rice, but I'm not eating the tripe or the chicken feet. You had dinner and you're settling down for the evening. Well, good for you, Randy. I haven't had dinner yet. I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner. I had a bologna sandwich for lunch today. The first bologna sandwich I've had in years. I don't think I'm going to be buying anymore. I know now why I don't buy bologna. I don't like it that good. And I fried it. That's the only way I'll eat bologna. And still, it's like, nope, I don't think I'll be buying anymore. No, Wilson, I don't want pig's feet either. Ham, hocks, and beans. That sounds pretty good. I had chicken thighs, butter, beans, potato salad, cornbread, and oh, I bet it was good, Randy. That all sounds good to me. I've got some greens and some dumplings I'm going to be, cornbread dumplings I'm going to eat for dinner, but I was thinking of something to go with them. I don't know if I'll fix anything with them or not. I'll see what I got in the freezer. Only if it's Hormel, Dennis. Well, thank you, Emily. Yeah, I've still got some frozen things, a lot of frozen things in my freezer that the anonymous subscriber had sent to me that I haven't cooked before. Like, I think I got a sweet potato casserole in there. I've been meaning to get that out and put it in the oven. See how that is? I bet it's good. Homemade pizza for dinner. That's good. I'd love me some pizza right now. I can eat pizza 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Pig's feet's the best. I don't think so. I don't want no pig's feet. Don't want no more bologna either. That sandwich reminded me of why I never buy bologna. I mean, I ate it growing up as a kid, but it wasn't my favorite thing to eat. And if I ate it, I always wanted it fried, almost burnt to eat it. Now, the chicken necks and the salt pork I could handle, Wilson. I could cook those chicken necks in rice and I could fry me up some salt pork. I'd be happy. But like I said, I can't get salt pork out here. All they have is salt. Well, they call it salt pork, but it's not. It's not the fat back that I grew up eating. It's more like bacon, and I didn't want the bacon. I wanted the fat back. Salt pork, as I know it, is not like the salt pork that they have out here. And I was even looking for the salt pork out here this week, and they didn't have any in the store. They had all kind of pork and stuff in the freezer thing section, but they didn't have salt pork. My bologna has a first name. Is it Oscar? Dennis was thinking the same way I was. I didn't even look at that when I said Oscar, and then I looked at it. I said, Dennis said the same thing. Yeah, but Wilson, isn't it salt pork that has a little bit of meat in it? Doesn't it kind of look like bacon? But they call it salt pork. They had that up here, but that's not the fatback, the salt pork that I grew up eating that you get back in North Carolina. The salt pork that I grew up eating, the fatback as we called it, Did not have any lean meat in it whatsoever. Oh, that sounds good, Randy. A peach cobbler? I might have to do that. I haven't made or ate a cobbler of any kind in a long time. Yeah, I'm not going to eat something I raised as a pet. Yeah, I'll have to try me a peach cobbler. We're making a spice cake with cream cheese frosting tomorrow, red beans and rice for dinner. Oh, wow, that sounds good. I love spice cake, and with cream cheese icing, that's even better. Who's eating the dogs and cats? Dennis is making rum cake with extra rum. You gonna eat a drunk cake? You'll get happy eating your cake. No, not really. That will definitely be a happy cake, Dennis. Springfield, Ohio. Hmm. What is that, Uncle B? Uncle BB? Camilla, ruff, ruff, meow, meow. Haiti. Y'all have lost me in this conversation. I don't know yet, Wilson. I haven't decided about trivia night yet. Most of the time, no, I don't watch the news. What's going on that I need to know about? The debate. WD-40 is good for fishing. That's what they did in the 1960s. How do you fish with WD-40? Google it. Spray it on your fishing tackle. How does that help? I don't understand. Harris versus Trump. I think I saw that. That was back the 10th of September, though. I didn't see the one with Biden and Trump, but I saw the one with Camilla and Trump. Makes fish float. It's for rusty flounders. Huh. That's weird. I've never heard of that. To spray WD-40 on your line. Hmm. I have a new family member, a bowl mass of a dog gutter. It's today. Huh. I'll have to try that. I keep WD-40 around, but usually it's for spraying on stuff that's stuck. Maybe I'll get to go fishing another day before it gets too cold. But cold weather's what you need if I go out to the state park to fish, because that'll keep the snakes away. The snakes are in their dens when it's cold weather. They don't come out too much when it's real cold. I realize that's why a lot of these YouTubers will make camping or survival type videos in the snow and in their extreme cold weathers, because that way they don't have to worry about the snakes being there. Yeah, I'll try it, Wilson. I'll try that one time and see. Buy fish cheaper than WD-40. Yeah, probably. Now, if I could catch me a great big old record breaking catfish or a bass, I wouldn't mind spending the money for WD-40 to fish with. But I'll try it. I was going to get chicken livers the other day to take fishing to catch me some catfish, and I said, no, I'll do like last time. I'll leave them in there till I have to cook them to keep them from going bad. And I won't get to go fishing. I'll wait till I get ready to go fishing, then I'll run to the store and get me some chicken livers. That way they'll be fresher. WD-40. I know it's a degreaser. It's also good to spray in locks and stuff that you need to loosen up. Catfish like garlic. You can put some on your livers the night before. Wow, I didn't know that either. I'll have to try that. Put some garlic on my chicken livers. Dennis says that's what I do. I don't catch fish, but so I eat the bait. Well, I love chicken livers. I don't mind cooking my chicken livers. Most of the time, I go to the store and buy me a container of them just to bring them home and cook them. The only stuff will make the fish bite real fast. You see, you can spray WD-40 on your chicken liver, and that might, you can, if people ask you why are you spraying WD-40 on your chicken liver, I said, that's because the fish will hurry up and bite the liver before it slides off the hook. Yeah, you said you bet your granddad did that. I see your post, Jana. Yeah, I've tried fishing with the hot dogs for catfish, but I've not had any luck with it. It's just the bait eaters that'll eat my hot dogs off the hook. I'll use a little tiny piece of the weenie to catch a bait fish, and then I take that little bait fish and put it on my big hook and throw it out and catch me a big catfish or a big bass. I know you have to pull off that little bit of fat and sinew off of your livers, and they won't pop so bad. Thanks, y'all. Just needed to know. Yeah, we see you good and plain, Jana. Oh my God, Randy, you're making me hungry. Chicken livers cooked in bacon grease with onions and gravy with pan drippings put on cornbread. Uh, I could eat some of that right now. Wilson, you have to stab it with a fork. I read a joke somebody posted on Facebook, and I wish I could remember how it all went. But this boy said he went to this little fast food place to get a sandwich with his granddad, and said they were sitting at the table, and here come this teenage girl coming in, and her hair was all spiked up, and each spike was a different color, like orange and green and red and blue and yellow and whatever. And his granddad kept staring at the girl. And every once in a while, his granddad would look at the girl, and the girl would look back at him. And finally, the girl got kind of, I guess, annoyed by the granddad watching her, and said something to him about, what's the matter, Pop? You never lived your life, or something like that, or you never lived on the wild side. And the grandpa replied to her, said, well, it's like this. I was kind of wild in my younger days, and I had an affair with this hippie that liked all different colors hair and stuff, and said, I just keep looking at you because I'm wondering if you might be my daughter. No, he said, I had an affair with a peacock, and kept looking at you because I thought you might or could be my daughter. Wasn't a hippie, it was a peacock. He got drunk and had sex with a peacock, and he thought that she could be his daughter. I hit jackpot yesterday at Michael's, buy one get three free. Oh wow! Well, Marshall's was supposed to be starting their big sale yesterday. It runs yesterday through the 23rd through the 25th. And they said they were going to have red light specials. They were going to be giving away door prizes. They were going to be giving away a lot of stuff, and was going to have some really good sales. But I haven't made it to the sale yet. I don't know that I'd buy anything, but I might go one day before it ends just to see what they're doing. Just out of curiosity. How about big lots? Well, I went to Big Lots just the other day. I did that video with Big Lots. Did you not watch it, Wilson? I do my own stunts. What kind of stunts do you do, Dennis? 10% off for seniors on Tuesday at Ross stores. They have, what is it, a discount on Tuesdays at the Goodwill shop too. Do I know what you call a cat wrapped in a blanket? No, I don't. I'm almost afraid to ask. But that joke struck me so funny when I read it. Cats in a blanket. 10% drop in the bucket. This year it's gold and red. Can change your Christmas theme every year based on ribbon. This year it's gold and red. A burrito. That's funny. A cat wrapped in a blanket's called a burrito. Somebody might make burritos with my fur babies. Nacho fries pass at Taco Bell, $10 plus tax. Yeah, the burrito, that's pretty good. I would never have thought of that. But that grandson that told that joke, and he said he went into the restaurant or that fast food place with his granddad. He said he hurried up and ate his burger, swallowed it before his granddad could reply because he knew he would end up choking on his food because anything in the world would come out of his granddad's mouth. And he told that girl that he had sex with a peacock and thought she could be his daughter with all her different color hair. Oh, it was a funny thing to read. I just wished I'd have remembered it right. 30 days of nacho fries. Do you know what's a henway? No, I don't. What is a henway? Dog wrapped in a blanket? That'd be more like a chicken wrapped in a blanket, wouldn't it? A henway? About 3 pounds. About 6 pounds. Huh. I don't know. A canine coverlet. Oh, y'all, you're killing me. We got a canine coverlet and we got a purr Rito. Steve has fat hands. That's pretty good, Uncle BB. Canine coverlet. I noticed in Walmart everybody's looking at the hams and looking at the turkeys, and I'm liable to just take something I've got in the freezer from last Thanksgiving and eat that for Thanksgiving dinner because I've got turkey and gravy and I need to get the stuff out and consume it. So that's what I might do. I might just take my turkey out of my freezer and heat it up, and that's going to be my Thanksgiving. And of course, I'll make some vegetables or Mexican cornbread muffins or something to go with it. Rather have ham. I usually have my ham for Christmas. Christmas or New Year's. You have raw oysters for Thanksgiving. That would have suited my dad just perfect. He loved raw oysters. I couldn't handle even watching him eat those things because he'd make jokes about them. Almost, ugh. I remember this one time we were out in the backyard and he had his fire going and he had his bushel basket of oysters back there, and he was putting them in these things to put them on the fire, and he'd leave the oysters on the fire just long enough for the shell to pop open. Then he'd grab and pop that shell open and then pop it in his mouth, and down it'd go. And he joke about it. He said, well, just think about it. Wouldn't take many oysters to fill you up, because he said they're so slimy you could take a big one like this and tie a string to it and swallow it and pull it back up, and that way you can swallow it again. I like to throw up because he knew I couldn't handle oysters. I thought to myself, only my dad would think of such a thing. Now, king crab legs, I could love to eat. Oh, my goodness, that would be good. Crab legs or lobster. Oh, I already bought my black-eyed peas. I bought me a bag of black-eyed peas this week when I was in Walmart because I didn't want to run out and not be able to have black-eyed peas for New Year's. So I went ahead and bought me a small bag of them. Because one year I went in and I couldn't find black-eyed peas. They sold out. And I had to buy black-eyed peas in a can. And I said, well, that's better than none at all. So I bought a can of black-eyed peas, which were not good at all. They're not like the ones I make. Emily says, what did the orange say to the banana? I have no idea. No, we don't want octopus for New Year's. What did the orange say to the banana, Emily? Peel you later. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just a tradition with me that I have my black-eyed peas, my ham, my greens, my cornbread. I got to have all that on New Year's Day. Because your greens stand for your green money. Your black-eyed peas stand for your coins. Your cornbread stands for your gold, prosperity for the new year. So you got to have black-eyed peas, ham, and greens. And I forgot what the ham stands for, but I always have ham with my black-eyed peas and my greens. Yeah, I usually cook it the night before while we're waiting for the ball to drop on New Year's. And I eat some that night, but then that's what I eat the next day too. I fix a small pot of black-eyed peas, and I fix just a little bit of cornbread and a little bit of ham, a little bit of greens. Because I'm usually by myself on New Year's. I don't go out on New Year's Eve. Not as a general rule. I stay home. I put onions in my black-eyed peas. I put onions and tomatoes, and oh, by the time I get through with those black eyed peas, they are the best black eyed peas you've ever eaten in your life. I did a video on them last year. And the people that tried the recipe, the way I cook them, they said they loved them. They were so good. They'd never eaten black eyed peas that good. Oh, well, there, hey, Shatika. I know you were in here earlier. You must have left and come back. Yeah, I've heard the tales about oysters and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if there's anything to it or not. What, do another video on my black eyed peas? I might. I could go live New Year's Eve for all the homebodies like me and cook my black eyed peas, I guess. Because I don't go anywhere on New Year's. The only time I went anywhere on New Year's is when I was working in a place and had to work New Year's Eve, or when I went with the church group to the town square for the centennial, because that was a big celebration on the square for the centennial year. But we had a house a block off the square we went to get warm and rest up from walking around in the freezing cold. Just makes me want more oysters. Jackie said she saw my video. Well, good. Yeah, I can do something like that maybe New Year's Eve for the people that stay home on New Year's like me by yourself or just don't go anywhere. We could do a New Year's cooking celebration while the ball drops. We can watch the ball drop on TV and be live while I cook my black eyed peas. Now I know why you have so many kids, Emily. Yeah, we kind of watched the ball drop last year, but I may do a cooking thing with my black eyed peas this year. Because I can't have the music playing that they play on that New Year's celebration because they would copyright my video, my live. But you can watch it at home. That way the music don't come through my video. And I can watch it on TV while I'm live on YouTube. Just don't, just turn the sound down so the music don't play through my video. We can sing. Yeah, you can do that, Dennis. We may do that. It sounds like fun. How many of you are going to be home on New Year's Eve, not going out anywhere, and would like to get in on a live for New Year's Eve? We went live last year, but we watched the ball drop. Oh, my nose itches. We can sing Me, I Am. The Friday after Thanksgiving, we have our Santa parade, our Christmas parade here in this town. They always do it the Friday after Thanksgiving. That's when Santa comes to town. The parade brings Santa Claus to town. So, depending on the weather, I might go to that again this year. I'm not sure. The weather depends on whether I go or not. Because if it's rainy, I'm not going to be out there in the rain trying to video it. Donna said she'll be in for New Year's. Well, I'll probably pick up quite a few people that are going to be homebodies for New Year's Eve. I never like going out because when you come home, usually all the bars are emptying and people at parties where they've been drinking. You get a lot of people on the road driving when they shouldn't be driving. They've consumed so much alcohol and they really shouldn't be out there on the roads. And that scares me. So I choose to stay home. I like Guy Lombardo and the Royal Canadians. They have a good video. I've never seen that. Yeah, road rage and drunks. That don't make good for a good combination to me. I don't want to get in the middle of any of that. I don't want to be taking a chance on getting in a wreck and having to get another car. Can't imagine what that would do to my insurance. Yeah, me and my kids always stayed home on New Year's Eve. We didn't go anywhere because just for that fact that there's too many people out drinking and driving. Oh no, you're going for another surgery. It's been a rough road. Well, maybe you can watch on YouTube from wherever you are when you have your surgery. I don't know if you can get YouTube through hospital TVs or not, but maybe you'll have your phone with you and you can watch us on that if we go live. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Surgeries are not fun. It doesn't matter what kind of surgeries they are. And they're not always 100% fixed. They make you better, and they can help, but you're never 100% back the way you were. Baby back ribs and Uncle Joe's sweet smoked sauce. Y'all are making me hungry. It's 5:20 here now. It's my dinner time. I got to come up with something to eat, and I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to fix. I have barbecue on New Year's Eve, baby back ribs. Sounds good, Wilson. I'll be having my greens and black-eyed peas, my cornbread, my ham. That's a must on New Year's for me every year. Supposed to bring good luck and prosperity for the new year. I worked at a place that they had like a kind of a semi um, New Year's Eve party for the people that lived there. And their black-eyed peas were gross. Oh my God. I can understand why nobody would want to eat black-eyed peas. Because they were just black-eyed peas cooked in water. They had no taste. They looked terrible. They were watery. They were gross, y'all. I couldn't eat them. But I'll guarantee you, if you watch the video that I put out last year where I made my black-eyed peas, those things are, oh my God, they're so good. You can't stop eating them. You will never eat black-eyed peas again any other way, and you will never think of black-eyed peas the way you did before. That's how good they are. Time for a pound of ground round and Heinz 57. That sounds good too. Yeah, what? No bacon? Well, we've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Am I wearing y'all out? All of you probably want to go get dinner if you haven't got dinner fixed already. Yeah, you got to have your bacon. Pork fat and hog jowl. There you go, Wilson. Oh my gosh. I'll take the pork. You can have the fat and the hog jowl. Gladys says, Linda, we're going to eat, but I'll be watching and going to rest. Okay, Gladys, we're not going to be on here but another minute or two anyway. We've been on here pretty long. Your grandkids got here. See you later. Okay, well, tell your grandkids I said hello. Did you tell that one that was asleep on the couch that you showed me her laying there sleeping? That was Brooke. I know that would come into chat and chat with us. Yeah, they're on Thanksgiving break. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, all the kids are on Thanksgiving break this week. Okay, y'all, we've been on here long enough. I've enjoyed it. Had a good laugh or two. Got me in a good frame of mind. Now I'm ready to eat dinner, and I don't know what I want to fix. I'll find something though. Okay, Randy, see you later. But yeah, we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all have a good day. The rest of it, have a good week. Have a good night. And we'll see you on the next live. Like, share, subscribe to my videos, and above all, watch my videos, y'all. I need the views. Bye now. Love y'all.